So there was a certain series that I've been hammered in over and over and over and over and perhaps even over again as something I would really enjoy, and the fact that I've been needing to read this for the longest time, and as of recently, today, I have finally caught up, and that is Twin Star Exorcist. I have finally caught up, and I wanted to tell you guys and all that you guys should definitely check out this manga as well. Now, to give a little bit of a run back and all that, what my experience has been with this series for a while, if people knew and all that, I did know about this series for a while. I did see a couple of chapters of it, I think maybe 2 to 3 of it, and I just pretty much waited for the anime. I watched the anime. I'd like to say I saw about 9 or 10 episodes of the show. I did review quite a bit of it for a while. I definitely remember that. And then just due to the lack of time I had during the time, just ended up stopped talking about the anime. And one of the things I got a lot was the anime is shit, it's dog shit, get the fuck out of there. Read the manga is amazing. And that was what I was being told every time, because as I'll explain later on what is with the anime and definitely with the manga and the two things about these series in general. But to give you a little bit of a synopsis about this, like the main character though, Roku. This guy I absolutely love. I will say he is hilarious. Like the whole style of premise is like pretty much he tries to be anything. Like he'll say, oh, I'm gonna be a top idol. Oh, I'm gonna be like the strongest man. I'm gonna be a brawler. I'm gonna be a football player that's gonna be in the World Cup. And he's sharing like the first thing that we see of this kid is him just being told that you ain't pretty enough. Like I ain't dating you. I got no time for that shit. And he's just really upset. Although the one thing that he was extremely good at though was being an exorcist. Exorcist being the world's kind of like safety government against evil spirits, from what we've seen, known as the Basara, which are the evolved versions of impurities. And think of it as impurities as like corrupted human beings, from what I've gone from this and all that. That like they're monsters that reside in another world known as Magano, and pretty much they come and break into the human world to kill them. And he was really good at this, but due to a certain tragic event, I won't get too much into it. Let's say shit got real and he quit being an exorcist like when he was 12, and now when he's 14, he pretty much is being forced back into it again, as he is one of these destined children known as the Twin Star Exorcists that are supposed to be giving birth to the greatest exorcist the world has ever seen, known as Abi no Same. Do you follow me so far? Because trust me as well, like there was a lot of things I'm skimming over here with this stuff, like multiple characters, the 12 Guardians, the Basara, like I'm just like going for that, and even still like and all that, when you get the first glance you're like, wait, so he's with this girl, they're supposed to have a kid, but then they're supposed to make another kid, and that's supposed to be a reincarnation of some other guy that's supposed to go and fuck things up. And I was like, oh, okay, there we go, take a fucking second to breathe and all that. And one of the other characters that I mean mainly been lacking out of here and all that and not been talking about is the other member of the Twin Stars, which is Benio, who comes off as a real bitch at the start. Like, clearly thinks that she's a little bit superior than Rokuro, that she's like come from this very high dignified family, that she's like this always been this masterful like exorcist and can't stand that Rokuro getting up to it and things like he's a coward. And the one of the things that like definitely a plus of this series is how the two pretty much bond and interact, because you get to see these two come at each other who want to strangle each other's throats at the start, thinking they're scum, and seeing how much they're becoming friends and a little bit more throughout the series. Definitely what really goes for the series is definitely its gorgeous artwork. Holy Christ, no, I cannot scream on it. I mean, even Kishimoto himself was even pimping this out. He was even promoting some of this when this was first like popping and he actually getting popular. And just the artwork, and definitely it's just like, I like how the character interactions in the series is anything, is something I like. Like especially as well, like, you know, even with like the anime a little bit from what I saw, then I did kind of enjoy that, even though it started messing around with parts and stuff like what it was doing. But I definitely like that, and especially there's a lot of characters that I do like in here. Like I like the main duo also as well. I love Sagan. Sagan's one of my favorite from the 12 Guardians as well. She's more like, there are a bunch of characters I like that I generally enjoy, and it's a shame I can't talk about all of them. Kanwi's a beast. Like there's some of the others and all that you can talk about. But then again, let's dive into and all that, like why you should definitely see this out and all that. It's only about 30 plus chapters right now in the monthly series. Definitely recommend like catching up to and all that. Although I will say the latest stuff and all that, we seem to be setting up for a tournament where I feels like it's kind of like dragging time for like the main story to set in. That's probably out there. Maybe it feels a bit slower now that I've caught up. But definitely I was more a little bit disappointed about this, where I was like, I kind of wanted to like Rockuru just to kind of go kind of straight into that, because the thing with this manga as well, the pacing is ridiculous. Like, holy, if that's something I could even say on its plus, and it's also as well as lag side, is that the manga goes at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Like, you're immediately like being dragged in, going against these high elites, these Basara, you're going against them, fighting them, then you find some of the big events, like a big reveal, or saying like, oh, this character came back, or something like that happened, like, and I was like, whoa, this is going insanely fast and all that. It is a monthly series, but even for a monthly, I was even surprised by how much it's like going by the speed, and it's kind of a little bit shocking all that to see like right now, if anything, like the later chapters has been more slower, and it's actually been more building up to stuff. But with some badass scenes like along the way, and all, you have some really goddamn interesting twists alongside in this series. And definitely I got to say as well, like after one, I was like, you will have an enjoyable ride. I definitely can see why a lot of people was recommending this to me and all that. I definitely do like the cult. I really do enjoy exactly kind of like the Onyoji like kind of world and all that. It kind of really reminds me of some of the stuff that I missed from stuff like Neuro Rise of the Yokai Clan. I really kind of miss this mystical like Japan version. Like I really miss this kind of version where it doesn't feel like it gets enough love, kind of like this giant spirituality of like this entire world, and I love seeing that stuff because you do get some really cool fucking things in this series a lot. Now let's talk about the anime and the manga. As if people know and all that who are caught up to the anime is currently airing and has around about, that's been licensed about 50 episodes of the anime. As of currently of this video, the anime is not finished, has about 40 plus, and I have, like I said before, I've only seen about 9 episodes of the show, and let's explain why people have so many problems with it. One, the biggest thing for a lot of people is the fact that what Studio Period is doing with this show is that they keep changing around material as well. They introduce characters. One of the characters, Shimon, he didn't even appear until chapter 15, and he was already in like the first couple of chapters. Same thing, they've been changing around certain fights, certain scenes. I heard as well the stuff in Volume 5, people will know probably what I mean all that, is you see that badass cover. They kind of ruined that part a little bit, I've heard, and there's a filler arc in between, and the current stuff that's going on a lot, they've completely abandoned where like the manga was going, and they're doing their own story. If anything, kind of like what Full Metal Alchemist did, after a while they just decided to tell their own story with these characters, and although I'm pretty sure it's not on the level like what FMA did with its original story and all that, but the thing is, I've actually heard some good things about the anime, like what it's been doing with some of the stuff that it's done, and then as well, like I've heard bad things like as well. So honestly, I'm not going to judge the anime as I'm not caught up to it. I am interested in it, but I will say one thing on the anime favor. God damn it, I love the music to this show. Every single opening is amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I am addicted to opening 3 and 4 of that show and all that. Definitely, I'd recommend you guys go and listen to like at least opening 3. I believe it's called Sync, and then also as well opening 4 and all that. I am addicted to these songs. They're amazing. Even as well, the OSTs and all that from what I've listened to, I've really enjoyed it. It's what I've been listening to while reading the manga, and it's great. And the question is, though, and all that, for something like, I know a lot of people are asking, would I actually review this manga? Honestly, I have no idea whether or not I would review this one, as like I've mentioned a few things before and all that, like the manga at the moment seems to be taking a more slower pace now, with kind of like setting up this tournament, or as well some of the new characters I haven't cared about, like especially one character related to Arima. So far from what I've seen from that character, I really can't stand him as well, and also as well the addition that they added in the anime only character as well, which was one of the biggest flaws of the show. I fucking hated that character. He was really annoying in the anime, and now they've added him into the manga, so I'm like, not so far from what I've seen on that. I'm not looking forward to that, and especially since they've been really teasing a big clash to happen with certain characters. And plus, one of the characters being kind of pretty much not in the story for a while and all that, and I've been wondering what's been happening with that character. So hopefully we'll be able to see a little bit more and all that, like with some of these characters in the future. But definitely, I would recommend them because they are really enjoyable like series and all that. And even as well as the much flaws as the anime does have and all that, I definitely enjoyed the time I did have with it, and I probably will go back to it in the future, just not now and all that. Definitely want to see when it finishes and see what it goes to. But I will say and all that, both of them are flawed. If anything, like I said, the manga goes at a too fast pacing, so I don't get enough time to have attachment to some characters, where they're just like, oh, big plot to them, and then it's like, oh, that character already just got really fucked up and all that, and it just happened like that. So you do go a million miles per hour with that. with certain ones and all that, but then as well I think the anime kind of makes up for that with, like, yeah, it does filler a lot of the time, but then you get to spend more time with these characters and see a little bit more development. Sometimes not good, sometimes not bad, and plus they change things around. So I think both, if anything, have their problems. One may be worse than the other, but I definitely think overall and all that, like, the manga's ride for us so far has been a really enjoyable, great experience, and it's been great kind of catching up to a manga again and all that. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a while since I've thoroughly enjoyed something, and I've, like, just enjoyed catching up with it and wanted to do a video about it. But the question is, what do you guys think about Twin Star Exorcist and all that, and what do you think should I do with it and all that? Do you think I should talk about some chapters or something like that, or do you think I should leave it and maybe watch the anime and maybe do a video about the anime in the end and all that? I'm curious to see what you guys think, but that's all for me. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you guys, though, next time.